We have been on non-stop weather watch for you tonight. A little bit of everything coming with this latest batch of storms, and the skies are still lighting up more than 2 hours into our coverage.
Yeah, let's take a look at that radar right now. How often do we really get to see it lighting up like this? The entire valley covered orange, red, green. Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullivan's tracking the rain, the winds, and possibly a funnel cloud sighting. We'll check with her in just a moment.
We want to give you a look at some of that rain coming down right now. This is the Loop 101 in Camelback, and we have crews in every pocket of the valley for you tonight to bring you live coverage from every angle. We
want to start with ABC 15's Tim Vetcher. He's been following the storm even before the rain. When this dust rolled through, he shot this spectacular time lapse for you near I-10 and Riggs. Tim standing by live covering the storm from the vantage point in the South and East Valley.
Tim, you're in Chandler right now, but you have actually followed the storm up from the south, and it's nonstop for you.
Yeah, Steve, we're at Arizona Avenue and Germain. Forgive me, the lightning around us is pretty distracting at the moment. We just saw a strike. Couldn't have been more than 3 blocks behind us. We've been getting pounded for the last 2 hours with heavy downpours and really strong winds. This is the corner of the parking lot here at the Shell station. We've been watching it disappear under a pool of water. Just consistent rain over the last 2 hours. As you say, our night of wacky weather started about 10 miles south of here, down near Casablanca Road and the I-10. That's where we saw that massive wall of dust just rolling across the desert. It was fascinating to watch, really beautiful, because you had the backlight of the sunset contrasted with the darkness, the thick dust wall that was moving across the desert. I actually talked with one man who was moving from Utah to Tucson tonight. This was the first dust storm that he'd ever seen.
It's probably one of the most awesome sights you can witness right there. Is that it's almost biblical. It's almost biblical, the size of that dust storm. We came through it on the way over here, and we had a dickens of a time seeing it, to be honest with you.
And I mentioned the lightning strikes earlier. Just saw another one about 3 seconds ago in the distance behind me to the north and to the west. Normally we use this big live truck here, but it's got a mast that goes up about 20 feet in the air. You can't use it on a night like this when you've got so much cloud-to-ground lightning. This is what we're using over here, a small Nissan Versa with a much smaller microwave mast you just stick on the roof. That's what's able to bring us these live pictures to you right now.
Yeah, it's an important improvement in the technology that makes us able to provide that. Tim, thank you so much. We know it's been a very wet night out there for you tonight.
And we also have crews far east right now in the area of Santan Valley as we look at these spectacular time-lapse pictures of this dust storm rolling up from the south. The winds have really whipped up in places like Florence and Coolidge, and it's this kind of weather actually preventing our crews from giving you live signals from all over the place, and that's one of the reasons that ABC 15's Adam Slinger is joining us now on the phone.
Yeah, and he's Skyping in some video. And Adam, a flood advisory is in effect where you are. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, a lot of traffic moving at a much slower pace than it normally would at 10 o'clock at night. The reason is, of course, the rain. For the past hour over here along the I-10 and Bullard Avenue, pretty steady rainfall, pretty hard actually at some points. I'm actually in a parking lot right now and watching the water rush towards the drains. They are struggling to keep up. Lots of thunder, heavy thunder, good light show in the sky, but really, Kate and Steve, the story out here in the West Valley is the rain.
Yeah, it's just been incredible tonight, and we hope that everybody's staying safe out there. Adam, thank you. Let's move on to power outages now. Nothing to report from APS. That's the good news. SRP looking into about 500 people without power. We've got one area from Scottsdale to Dobson, McKellips to Broadway. We understand that power should be restored soon, if not already. We also have 2 other spots, one over on 107th Avenue and 83rd Avenue, West Thomas, and also near the 60 and the 10. So we'll keep you updated. SRP's thinking those outages will last until 1 in the morning.
I want to show you some of the earliest video that we captured just as this storm began to roll in. Air 15 was up overhead as soon as we saw the first signs of that monsoon. And it's time to talk about what's now ahead for the rest of the week, because we are not out of the woods yet. In fact, the worst may be yet to come, Amber.
Yeah, you mean there's more. All right, let's check in with Amber for that.
So we got at least another hour or 2 of this, and then tomorrow not only do we have monsoon moisture, but we have low pressure moving in from the west. So between the two of those, we have another good chance for storms, not only in the valley, but across the entire state. Key time frame tomorrow, late tomorrow afternoon and evening. Right now, though, look at all this rain coming all across the valley. Lightning not quite as intense, rather, as it was just a couple of hours or so ago, but we still have a flood advisory for the West Valley till about 11, for the East Valley until about 11:30. Here's a look at some rainfall totals, which continue to climb as we speak. Buckeye, 0.87 inches of rain. Surprise at over a quarter. Avondale at about 3/10. Queen Creek over a quarter. Tolleson about 3/4. And Chandler, that's the airport reading, at nearly an inch of rain. Tomorrow, a 50% chance for storms that will mainly be in the late afternoon and into the evening. We'll continue that chance into the overnight hours into Thursday, too. And I'll tell you when we'll see a break and start to dry things back out again coming up in your full forecast.
Now we have a health alert for you tonight, and you've been asking us about some of the problems with E. coli in the water. This involves the Johnson Utilities, and it involves an area in Santan Valley.
Yeah, a lot of people have been emailing us about this as well. People there say there's a E. coli scare for homes and businesses. District officials are asking parents to send bottled water with students to school tomorrow. Meantime, everybody down there tells us they're scrambling to buy up water at the grocery stores. We caught up with one family tonight. They say their Little League baseball game had to be canceled because of the E. coli scare. Officials didn't want kids drinking out of any water fountains.
Complete panic set in because my daughter was drinking water that we use from Johnson Utilities that we use out of our filtration system here. So immediately took that from her and was getting, we were very worried and concerned about the water that she was drinking as well as for others.
Yeah, we won't let this go. We're going to stay on top of this one. Johnson Utilities that operates the water in that area did not return our phone calls tonight.
Yeah, but if you use Johnson Utilities, you want to be boiling the water. That's the most important thing. Breaking news now coming in, and we're getting word of a threat on President Obama's life and a man under arrest in Washington state at this hour. We're told police are sweeping his apartment for explosives as we speak, but this all started with an email sent to a general government address. Now, the feds say we're going to see 31-year-old Anton Kaluri in court tomorrow.
We've got more breaking news out of California. 50 buildings destroyed tonight. That's where the Ponderosa wildfire is burning. This is north of Sacramento. The video, that fire that you saw there, just mind-blowing. It started Saturday as lightning sparked dry brush and grass. Several hundred homes. There it is, those pictures again. Just incredible. It's in a rural area. They're still threatened as the enormous fire continues to grow.
Trees that are more than 100 foot tall, burning, what we would call torching, basically like being in an inferno.
Right now, nearly 1,900 firefighters are on the front lines battling this one, which has grown to more than 33 square miles.
New developments tonight and a sigh of relief in the wake of a kidnapping outside the Mesa Public Library. Take a look at the suspect, 24-year-old Alonzo Robles. He's behind bars tonight in South Carolina. U.S. Marshals are the ones who tracked him down. Valley police believe Robles asked his victim for a ride and then stabbed her, took control of the car, and dumped her on the side of the road in some brush miles away. New at 10, Mesa police say Robles has previous out-of-state warrants for his arrest for kidnapping, weapons violations, and drug charges. Now, the victim was able to free herself after being tied up. We are told she's doing okay tonight, and she is the one who identified Robles in a photo lineup.
All new at 10, we're hearing from the family of a Valley